Not too. Hold on, folks. There we go. Yeah. So the stuff, it might be crooked or not. Yeah, it's Saturday morning. It's 7:52. I don't have to work today. So I thought I'd come on here. I got up a little while ago, so I thought I'd come on here and give you my thoughts. Not my, well, kind of reaction, but my thoughts on The Incredibles 2 newest trailer. Now, of course, we've gotten about 53, about a minute's worth, half a minute's worth of teasers and trailers over the past several months. But we've never had a full-length trailer until now. And we basically got a better idea of what we're going to be seeing in the theaters. And quite honestly, I think it looks good. Basically, the gist that we're getting here is, as we've seen in the teasers, this Winston guy, who's in charge of his communications company, along with his sister Evelyn, wants to put the spotlight back on superheroes. And instead of using all of the Incredibles, and including even Frozone, he decides he wants to use Elastigirl. Now, the one thing I like here is Bob's reaction. It's like when Winston points out they're going to basically says Elastigirl is the superhero they want to go with, Bob's reaction is, what, more so than me, and Elastigirl gives him a look like, like, really? It's like, really? Kind of like, really? You upset about that? So basically what happens is they have to end up moving they got to end up moving from where they live to a new location, because this new home serves as the new home, but also the headquarters. So it serves as a lot of that. But yeah, basically it's kind of the same thing we got before. We get a bit more interaction with Violet and Dash, especially at the beginning. Because Dash is getting ready to go after some rolls at the dinner. Because they're at dinner, he's going after some rolls. And Violet's like, did you forget hands? Wash? Just getting on her brother about that. And then Violet brings up something. Well, not Violet, but anyway. So after Dash goes through all that, getting his hands and everything washed and clean, even going like that for his sister, he looks at, because obviously they ordered Chinese, he looks at the fact that it's all vegetables. It's like, who ordered the vegetables? Vegetables, who ordered the vegetables? And Helen's like, I did. It pours out what's left of the vegetables and the potato on his plate. And then Violet brings up the issue about her mom's new job, or she calls it the elephant in the room. And then that leads us into what I was talking about, the fact that this telecommunications company, this Winston guy, along with his sister, wants to bring superheroes back into the spotlight, but wants to do it by using Elastigirl instead of the entire Parr family, or at least both her and Mr. Incredible and Frozone. So So anyway, Elastigirl has to end up traveling, around to try to put a good word in with superheroes and stuff. And you know, we see her call up. We see the scene where she calls up Bob, asks how things are from a hotel room. She asked about the kids. He says, "Oh, the kids are all fine and everything. Cool." She asked about Jack Jack, and he tells her Jack Jack's doing good in his own way. He said, "Oh, he's doing good. He's doing fine." But you could tell the kind of like concern in his voice, like he's doing good. He's doing fine, which is more so than the concern he had for when she asked about Violet and Dash. So yeah, we get that scene, a more extended part of that scene in this trailer. And like I said, if they don't have a scene, and I'm not trying to sound offensive. Okay? I'm not trying to sound offensive. But if they don't have a scene in here where at least she's soaking in a tub and maybe kind of, I don't know, liquefies a little bit, kind of really loose, let somebody just get really loose, almost to a liquefied state while she's relaxing in a tub, kind of like a submersion. Then why have her call from a hotel room? But then again, they don't have to do that. I'm just saying that if they don't do something like that, because a lot of movies animated in live action, not family oriented, usually have that scene in a film. So again, they don't have to do it, but I'm just saying if they do, at least have her go into such a relaxed state, that she's almost liquefied, if you will, but just in a relaxed state. Kind of get what I'm saying. Again, not trying to be offensive, but if they don't do that, that's fine. But usually with scenes from hotel rooms and stuff, that's usually what it leads to before or after that scene. Where she calls up to ask how the kids are doing. There is a scene where she even talks about the fact that, to having to leave her family to fix the law, because having to leave her family to fix the law, and that by trying to fix the law, she has to break the law. But Bob's response to her is, but Bob's response to her when she says that is, it's the only way so that our children will have this opportunity without any problem. Or something like that. He basically tells her that, he basically points out, everything you're saying is true, but you're doing it so our children won't have to worry about this in the future. And we do get some of the Elastigirl scenes we've seen before in trailers. We've seen her in the other trailers. We see her hopping onto a train, swinging onto a train. We do get a scene right at the beginning where she is jumping off a building onto a helicopter. Well, we don't get that at the beginning, but we get something like that at the beginning. We get a scene where get a scene of her in action at the beginning when Violet talks about the elephant in the room. And so we get that. So we get a scene there. I think that shows Helen on the rooftop getting ready to spring into action, into the scene that we see later on, where she basically, after we see her swing onto the train like we've seen in other trailers. We've seen her swing onto a helicopter. And what looks like it's going to be a really cool scene there. So we get that. We get that. We do get the fact that when she's talking about having to leave her family to fix the law. She has to break the law, or to save the law. To save the law, she has to break the law, kind of deal. We see a scene that when she's on her motorcycle, she basically goes from one rooftop through a window into another building and rides through there. And then, of course, in the trailer, we also get another sequence with Frozone, Bob, and Jack Jack. And we see Bob call it to Jack Jack going, "Num num cookie, cookie, num num cookie." And then that's how Jack Jack appears. And Frozone's in the background like, "Ah!" Even before that, when, Jack Jack disappears, he's like, "Ah, what the heck?" And Bob, like I say, is calling the baby saying, "Cookie, num num cookie." Num num cookie. And Frozo's like, "Oh my God." But then, of course, by Bob calling Jack Jack with that, we see the baby appear. And then of course we get a scene with Edna Mole the Mole and Bob. It's an extension of a little bit of a scene we saw in the other trailers. And it's basically almost not a scene by scene remake, but sort of a similar scene that we got from the first one. And she's explaining, I guess, the powers and stuff that Jack Jack has, and Bob's like, combust, and Bob's holding this thing in his hand, this tablet in his hand. He's like, combustible imminent. What does that mean? And then boom, baby just blows up the fire, and it's like, it means fire, Bob. So we get Edna back, and I think she's going to play a big role. And I think she's going to have a bit of a bigger role here than last time. We do get some situations with the kids. Like we get the math scene that we saw in the other trailers where Bob is trying to help Dash with math, but he's like, why? And Dash is like, they want us to do it like this, and Bob's like, I don't know how to do that. Why would they change math? Math is math. And Dash is like, whoa, Dad, it's okay, it's cool. And then we get Violet. And I think Violet's going to play an integral part in this because there is a scene, or there's a line that Dash says in the trailer where he's like, is she going through adolescence? Because when Helen calls up, in that scene where she calls up asking about the kids, we see Violet basically trying to destroy her super suit, which is a great continuity nod to the first movie because, as Edna pointed out in the first movie, the suits are indestructible. But we see, Violet's trying to destroy it by toss it down the garbage disposal. She throws it against the wall, and it's like, what's her problem? And then the line, like I say, that Dash comes up with by saying, is she going through adolescence? I think going to play a part in this because I'll get into that in a moment. But anyway, after all that, we get finally a look at who our villain is. He is the screenslaver. And I don't know if that's going to play a part in maybe Helen being controlled and Bob has to come to the rescue or something. I don't know. But basically, he is a hypnotic villain that uses, I guess, strobe, this kind of light effects that sometimes will give people seizures or something. But he uses that to hypnotize people to do what he wants. And then we get a scene of Bob calling up Frozone saying, suit up, it's about to get weird. And Frozone's on the other line saying, I'll be there, ASAP. And then we get Frozone's wife in the background saying, what do you mean ASAP? You better be back ASAP. So we finally get her back as well. Oh, and that's how they end the trailer. I know this is not like the typical reaction I had with like Suicide, Hell to Pay, or Avengers and all that. I just felt like talking about it and everything. But yeah. Yeah, from what I saw, and a lot of people probably have already mentioned, it looks like it's going to be really good. I do see Helen probably getting hypnotized. Here's what I see happening. If I can look at what. Okay. But here's what I see happening. I see Helen maybe getting hypnotized because, thanks to Wikipedia, a bit of spoilers here, but thanks to Wikipedia, we pretty much know that Winston and the screenslaver are one and the same. That's what we know right now. Now, it could be Evelyn, Winston's sister, that's the screenslaver, but who knows? They might both be the screenslaver, we just don't know it. But right now, thanks to Wikipedia, it's revealed that Winston is the screenslaver. Here's what I think is going to happen. Winston has chosen Elastigirl, Helen, to be the face so that she'll be the first to be hypnotized. So that he could hypnotize her into doing actions she normally wouldn't do, so that instead of putting a good name in for heroes, it puts a bad name back in for them. I'm just saying. But yeah, I see that's what the role is for the screenslaver. The screenslaver, Winston, he's gonna try to hypnotize and control Helen, and then Helen's gonna realize at the end that, oh my gosh, I was used this whole time by this guy. That the only reason this guy chose me was to use me, not to give superheroes a good name again, but to give them back a bad name. Or something like that. Maybe I'm wrong about that part, but we'll just have to wait and see. Bob, I think, Bob's role in here as a stay-at-home dad, I think is going to be great. I think it'll be funny. You can definitely tell he's going to get envious and everything of the fact that it's not him out there doing the heroing, but it's his wife. But I think they're going to play off that very well. Violet, oh my god, Violet here I think is really going to have a good role, because it looks like what they're doing with Violet is they're having her go through the typical having to move to a new location, away from her friends, away from a potential boyfriend, and now she's mad and upset that she's away from everything, away from maybe the one she loves or she has a crush on, and she's upset, and of course that's part of her growth. And I think what Dash says in the trailer of hey, she's going through adolescence basically is Disney's own way of saying she's going through puberty. You know what I'm saying? Or she might be going through her first, you know what. So that's going to be an interesting thing there. They do show that they do work together in the film, so there is a scene towards the end of it where it shows that they are working together. So as a family, so I'm guessing that's what I'm guessing that they come together. Well, of course they're going to come back together at the end of the film, or towards the end of the film, or in the third act at least, to fight this screenslaver. So I'm guessing, so those scenes that we're seeing are basically towards the end. Overall it looks really good. Overall, I think it looks really good. Jack's definitely going to be playing a role in this, with his developing multiple powers that he has. And the Mold coming back in this, I think she's going to have, like I said, have a bigger role. Maybe she'll be that one person that counters Evelyn tech for tech, like, oh, you got a solution, oh, you got this, well, I got a solution for that. So it looks good. It really looks good. And I like the fact that they kind of stayed true to what the original was, with Frozone and his wife, especially at the end there, where she's like, where you going ASAP? You better be back ASAP. Kind of a nod to the interaction where he's asking about his super suit. It's for the greater good. She says, I'm the greatest good you're going to ever have. You know. Overall, though, it looks really good. It looks really good, and I can't wait to see it on June 15th. From what I understand, it's going to be one of the first movies that Disney has on IMAX, except, you know, with the exception of Avengers, but that's Avengers. But it's going to be one of the first Disney-Pixar films, if not full-on Disney films that they're going to have on IMAX as part of this new partnership with IMAX. So, overall, The Incredibles 2 looks really good, and I can't wait to see it on June 15th. I can't wait to see it on June 15th, and or around that time anyway. But yeah, those are just my thoughts on it. Again, I think what's going to happen, I could be wrong, is Winston, who is, thanks to Wikipedia, spoiled to be the screenslaver, is going to try to hypnotize Helen to, instead of make a good look for heroes, it's going to be bad. So, something like that. Maybe I'm wrong. Like I said, maybe I'm wrong. We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. So, overall, looks really good. You know, I like the fact that they gave Elastigirl her own transportation in the motorcycle. So that's gonna be great to see. I don't know if she gets hypnotized, if that starts off really slowly, little by little, because there's the scene where she leaves and she's like, "Bye, honey," and she's like, kind of deal, and he's like, "Oh, I'll watch the kids," you know, or something like that. I don't know that she's already been hypnotized or just a tiny bit hypnotized. I can't really say. I don't think she has been. We'll have to, again, you know, it could be a tiny bit of hypnotism, could be not, I don't know. But we'll have to, again, like I said, we'll have to wait and see what happens here. But yeah, it looks really good. It looks really good. I think some fans have pointed out the fact that this is going to be more for the adult fan base that grew up with the original Incredibles, because it's been about 14 years. So I do agree with them that it's going to be like that, but it's going to be something for the entire family. So overall, it looks really good. Can't wait to see it. And those are just my thoughts on it. Let me know what you guys think down below. Comment if you like. And I'm out.